It's a party day, and you can't have a party without party hats.
We're excited to show you today a new technique with paper piecing, showing our party hat block.
And our birthday party continues, but we kind of can't concentrate with these
hats on. All right, so the first thing you'll want to do is download your paper piecing template, which will look like this. And of course, we have two sections here. This section is this upper part, and then this section is our middle area, and then we'll piece this on.
Okay. And this party hat is just so much fun because you can even personalize it. And I put members of the family's names on the bottom of the hat. So it's really such a fun party hat.
It is.
So we're going to move this out of the way.
All right, so what we'll want to do, and I'll let you do this, is first cut this section through here.
Okay.
And so let's use these and cut right through those lines. You want to keep your dotted line because that's your cutting line when you finish your paper piecing. Okay. And then what we'll do is let's go through the pieces that you'll need. We've got 12 7x8s, and these are the sides of the hat. Then we have, starting at the bottom down there, we've got 6 2x7s, 6 2x7s in the aqua. We've got 6 2x5s, and then 6 2x5s in the green. And then on the blue, the medium blue, we've got 6 2.5 by 3 inches. And then we go to the top part. You've got your white here on the sides. You've got 12 2.5 inches by 6 inches. You have for the little red part there, you have 6 2.5 by 2.5 inches. And then down at the very bottom, we have the little corners, which are 12 2.5 by 2.5 inches. And then you have 6 1 3/4 by 8.5 inches.
Okay.
So there's a lot of pieces, but now that we have them cut, we're ready to go.
So we're all organized, so it'll be easy to do.
So let's start with this little center piece, which is this red one over here. Now note, this is a tone-on-tone chevron, so let's make sure I kind of like him going across. So if you have something directional, make sure you know which way you want it to go. We're going to glue this with the wrong side onto the paper here.
Okay.
So just put a little dab on the center of your fabric and then place.
This is kind of the pom-pom on top of the party hat, isn't it?
Right, right.
Okay, there we go.
And so you'll note that the right side's facing here. So what we'll do is, this is number 1, and we're going to fold this. So let's fold it exactly on that line, and we're going to take a 1/4 inch off. So 1/4 inch from that edge, you're going to cut off that red so you get your angle.
Okay.
Then let's take our white piece. And remember, we want to barely take it off. So if we line that up so we can see our corner, we're barely taking that corner off so we have an angle. We want to make sure we have this full length so it will cover this piece.
So I'm doing the same thing, just making sure it's angled.
Barely taking that corner off, yep. So the edge of your ruler is going right to this corner over there.
Just like that?
Yeah, there you go. Now, we're going to go to the machine and we're going to piece this, lining this up, because when this pulls over, it's going to go like that. Okay?
And then to check it, we want to make sure it covers all the white section.
Right.
Okay.
And these pieces are cut just enough to match this block.
So you're not going to
you have to be exact.
Waste.
Yes, very little waste.
All right, let's take it to the machine. All right, so we've got our 2 pieces together. We're going to sew along here, and we need to adjust our stitch length
to 1.5.
1.5, right there.
All right, so we've got our first one. One of the things I do like to do is just finger press this. We'll go back to we'll press it all at the end. But I do, where's our glue? Well, let's put a little piece of glue so that when we cut this piece, it will
stay put.
Stay right there.
And remember to turn your stitch length down to 1.5.
Yes, that's really important. It'll help perforate the paper and get that off. All right, so we're ready for number 2.
So we're going to flip that back. Do the same thing as before.
You're just going to fold it right on that line.
And then we'll cut it off.
Cut 1/4 inch. And then again, let's make sure we take as little as possible. So we're going to take that corner right there.
Straight.
And what you're doing is getting your angle. And getting rid of that little corner. And then we'll take, flip this over. And make sure that it's right. You're going to sew right here. I do like to make sure that's hanging just a little bit at the top so that when you pull it across.
And you sew on the other side.
Yes. Let's sew on the other side so that you can see your line right here.
Okay, we'll take it to the machine. Okay, sew that section.
Okay, so here we have our little section done. Let's actually finger press this area. Actually, let me press it, and then you can glue that other side, and then we're going to square up this piece. And then let's place another little dab of glue right here. And this will keep this side down. And then when we turn it, there's a 1/4 inch line that we're going to cut all the way around, and that will be our top piece ready to
So I'm just going to cut along there or outside?
Yeah, just a 1/4 inch mark on, yes. There's
so I'm cutting on the dotted
stitching line.
Yep. Okay.
Because that straight line is actually your 1/4 inch seam when we join them together.
Okay. And there's not a lot of wiggle room, so make sure
just
you're
a 1/4 inch. Line up that ruler right there. Yep. As you can see, there's very little waste, so I do like this method for that reason. You're not wasting a lot of fabric, and you can cut your pieces fairly exact. So there we go.
Well, there's our little top.
Okay, and you'll note sometimes you're off just a little bit. That's fine. We're going to take that in at that 1/4 inch so we have a nice point up here. So you can see we've got plenty of room to put that into the seam.
Okay.
Okay, let's begin on the hat piece. And you'll note that all of these have numbers. Let's begin with number 1. So we'll take the navy blue, which is going to be our first piece. Same thing, we want to make sure we're covering that whole area. And you'll note that that is a really tight fit. We want to make sure we have 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch there at the bottom, and you can see that that is just barely fitting. Okay, so put some glue on there, and then let's take and let's press or fold. Let's fold that paper on this number 1 line.
Okay, so since we
take
already
the paper.
put a dab of glue that way, we're going to fold this way.
Yes. And I found it is easiest the way you're doing it so that you can see that line and keep fixing it. So it's right on there. And we're going to get our aqua. And this is going to be our second piece. Now we're going to take this. We're going to do our 1/4 inch cut right there.
Flip this over.
And get that. And then what we'll do is I don't want to cut this one. I actually like to take this one and open it and place this one right here. Now we can check that we're going to have enough by lining that up. And if you can see when it flips up,
flip it up,
that you're going to cover this whole area. So we're not going to cut anything. We're just going to line this up like so, and sew that on the right side.
So we're going to go stitch along there.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So we sewed along there. And we double check to make sure we have fabric covering number 2 piece. So we're going to number 3.
So what we want to do is fold on this number 2 line. And
between 2 and 3.
Yep. We're going to get ready to put out orange for number 3.
Okay.
So once it's turned,
like that.
So we folded it on the line. You're going to cut your 1/4 inch off. So you're just lining it up with that paper and cutting your 1/4 inch. This is just the excess. And it just keeps it tidy as you're moving along. Then let's flip this over. Again, I don't like to cut these pieces beforehand. We can just line, yeah, they're so small and they barely have enough room. But we're going to sew, making sure right sides together. And you're going to flip this over and sew right along this line.
Okay. I'm just going to do a quick flip check.
It's good to check. And that's going up.
That's up.
Exactly.
And that covers both my sides, and it does. So
good.
We'll take this. Okay. So.
All right.
Okay, we sewed on between 2 and 3.
Oh, good. Now we're
just double checking. We got all our
everything's covered. So now we'll get ready, and you'll do that number 3. Fold on that line.
And then just cut.
Yep.
Once you get going, this is really easy, and this is probably our hardest block.
It is. Yes.
So once you get this block mastered and you do it 6 times,
you'll be a pro.
Yes, the others are going to be easy.
Right. So now we need to just put a little piece of glue there just to hold that in place. And then let's get our green, and we're going to do the same thing. So let's flip that over. Let's place this here. Make sure that's centered, and you can check that to see if it'll go.
It's a little bit more. So when you flip, you look on the other side,
great.
And it covers
where
that
it needs
fourth
to be.
section. So, okay. Let's take this over. So that's...
Okay, finger press that. Make sure it covers the whole area. Awesome. And let's get ready for our last piece. So fold that. We'll cut that.
There's a smaller one for this.
And then let's put this right. Let's put a little dab of glue one more time right here to hold that on. And then make sure all those pieces are pressed up.
So we have no puckering.
Yeah, we don't want any puckering on that. And then let's check that we've got enough on that to lift. Oh, we probably need to scoot it just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And we're going to flip it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to cover the top.
Yep, there you go.
So, okay. Let's finish off the top of our hat.
Okay. So here we have it. I think
it covers.
Yes, and let's do one more piece of glue right there. And then I think I'll press that and make sure that everything's going to sit nicely. Because you'll know And then let's get our white pieces. And what we'll do is we're going to fold. So let's go over here to number 6, and we're going to fold on that line. Now you'll note sometimes your stitching goes a little far out. Well, you just pull your paper if you need to. And we'll cut all this excess off, leaving 1/4 inch.
This really is a tidy way
like it? It is.
to do paper piecing.
All right, so let's take this piece of white and let's place the long side, the long edge, right here. And we're just going to sew 1/4 inch right along there.
And you just flip it over, and you should have plenty
I'm going to sew
to
right
cover
on that line.
So let's take it to the machine and sew this section.
Okay, here we are. Let's just press
Take a
this. I think we'll press this, yeah. Make sure that that's... And let's get ready to put that little yellow corner on. So what we'll do is fold this piece back.
I'm going to cut that real fast. Grab me my tape. Let's flip that over. Let's take it all the way up since we don't need that.
And let's sew this on that corner.
Okay.
So we'll just put that right there. Make sure.
So it'll just flip around.
And there should
like
be plenty
that.
to cover that.
Yeah, that's plenty.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we'll take it like that.
Okay.
So it's probably a good idea to start a little
Overlap this just a bit
Overlap.
on that corner. Yes.
just so you've got plenty of room
right.
on this side, because you come all the way to the edge on that, so we overlap that.
And let's press that piece, and then let's glue both of these pieces down so that when we go to the other side, we'll be able to, so we can just put a little bit of glue on each corner there to hold that in place.
There we go.
And then let's go to folding this side right here. And we're going to cut that 1/4 inch and then place this on that other corner.
And you can go all the way up because you don't need this part. Get all our little scraps off like that.
And then we're going to place this over here, because of course this is going to come all the way over.
Again, it'll cover plenty.
Yep.
But make sure it's centered so you've got plenty on both sides. Okay. All right, we sewed along there, and our hat's almost
Okay,
finished.
let me press that. And of course we can glue this side down, and then we'll do our very last piece. So actually, let's do our corner first before we glue that.
So I'm going to pull
Cut that off.
Here's the longer one. I like to flip it this way. Easier to cut.
Okay. And then where'd our little piece go? Just because it's going to go on that corner right there, and make sure that's overlapping on the end.
We'll take it
Just
out
a little
just a
bit.
little bit so it covers
And then pulls up and covers that
flips.
edge.
Again, starting a little bit over on
You can
here.
put a little dab of glue on that side. Or do you want to wait? Let's wait till
I'll just
next
wait.
time.
Okay.
Okay, here we are. Let's press this last piece, glue those down, and then we can cut 1/4 inch all the way around. So let's put a little bit of glue right there and right here. And then we can just flip it,
Trim.
and we can trim all the way around that block.
And make sure you trim on the dotted line, not the inner line. It's trying to slip on me. There we go. And paper piecing is just one of those things when you're all done. It's so fun to see all of your points come together just perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. It is a great way to get exact points.
Precision piecing.
So this is our top part, and what we'll do is we're going to join. So we want to make sure that this is facing up. So if we're turning, it'll be like that. Okay. What I like to do is I do like to put a pin right here at this point and on the point of the other one. Okay. And then you'll sew right along that line, and it should keep it all together.
Yeah, sure pins together. Get precision.
I'm going to sew right on this 1/4 inch line.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are. We've got this piece joined together. What we'll want to do is we can take off the paper. Okay, because all we need to do is join this last piece on the end. And this should perforate and pull right up, and we can just pull it all off. Okay, and that last piece. And
want me to grab it?
And then what we'll do is we're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam right here. The right sides together, and that's our last piece.
Okay.
Okay.
Finish. Look at that block. Now it should measure 8.5 by 8.5.
Yes, that's your final block. Let's press this, and
you just have to repeat that 6 times.
6 times.
And it's really not too bad.
There we go.
Not too bad.
I just love it. It's a party hat.
And it's just wonky and fun. And so we hope you enjoy making your party hats for your happy birthday quilt.